Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. You've joined the $1 Million Mindset Series, which is going to run from January to February this year and finish, of course, with our live tour across the country. We're going to bring together a number of $1 million plus billers, and I'm really excited today to bring you one of those guests. In particular, for our Perth show is David Gray. David, welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm just going to give the audience a real quick overview of who you are, because this is your first podcast. You've been around for 30 plus years, and I'm very proud to say this is your first podcast. You've done some things. So you're the founder and current managing director for DRD Recruitment over in Perth. You've started over 30 years ago and been building that slowly ever since. You've run desks, you've managed people managing desks, every sort of role you can think of, whether it be an on-site welder to a site manager. Sounds like you were a boilermaker yourself as a graduate as well. So you're very well and truly in the heavy industry space. The part that impresses, there's two things that impress me the most. One, you just told me that your best year was in excess of $5 million gross margin on fees on your desk. That was your desk, and that was that, and that's sort of the hurdle. That is insane. The second thing that impresses me about you is you've just climbed Everest, and not just Everest. You climbed the Tibetan side, which I believe is the harder side. I'm not a climber, but I've been told this. Where do we even start? Let's start with Everest. Why Everest? When did that start? Let's get into that.
Part of a project, currently, working through the 7 highest mountains on the 7 continents around the world, and it presented itself right timing, planning was in place, and everything worked out, and extremely happy that it all went to plan. So amazing feat.
Was it as hard as you thought it would be, or was it harder?
Actually harder. Yeah, it was actually harder than I thought. It was a lot steeper than I thought, and a lot more rock and challenging situations on the mountain, definitely so.
Recently, I've seen that it's quite busy. It can get quite congested. Was it busy for you? Was it a lot of traffic?
No, so I came and climbed from the Tibetan side. A lot of the photos and things you see are from the Nepalese side, and that's a worst case scenario, what you see. For this season, or last season just gone, we only had 48 climbers registered from the Chinese Tibetan side, and the Nepalese side had 470, but only about 50 to 70% of those people who register actually get to go for a shot at the summit due to all of those unknown reasons and altitude sicknesses that happened on a big climb like that.
Mate, impressive. Oh, look, we talk about resilience, and I love to take these life examples at the desk because they go hand in hand, right? Like the mindset and the energy and the focus and the training and the resilience, all that, it bleeds into whatever activity you're doing. So if you're applying that to mountain climbing, or you're taking that from your desk, I'd love to understand what came first, chicken or the egg, in terms of resilience. Was it recruitment that taught you how to push through these icy, steep cliffs? Was it mountain climbing that has made your desk so successful? How do you view that?
Yeah, I'll look back at, I was always competitive out of school, surfing, competitions and all that sort of stuff. And then I traveled into the French Alps as a young 21-year-old and got addicted to mountaineering and skiing. And then I've just sort of drove that. I had my welding, boilermaking apprenticeship and just always loved work. Even younger, did milk runs, did packing of Woolies shelves, always kept busy and had a plan and had a target of what I wanted to do in life. And then obviously once moved into the recruitment side, I just kept taking that with me the whole time. And I just love challenges, love helping people succeed in what they do.
It's very easy to give up in recruitment. And, when you're billing $5 million in a year, I'm going to guess that you're dealing with a lot of shit as well. What is the motivator for you? Like, is it money? Is it success? Are you trying to prove something? What is it that you think makes you so ambitious, or just, 5 million? I haven't spoken to a recruiter who's done 5 million before. So
yeah, look, really, it's a bit of everything, I suppose. It's everything in what you explained then. Yes, there is the money. That's a byproduct, but it's about helping people along the way. And I just love that feeling of winning a client, closing a deal, and then finding them the people. And then,
Mm,
some of the projects we worked on back in the day, myself, when I was billing, some of those people were on those projects for 5 and 10 years non-stop as contractors. So we had a
mm,
very, very solid desk of big white collar roles on big construction jobs.
mm,
And it was just amazing. And like, some of those people have worked for me on and off since '96. So, and they still work with me today on some of the projects, some of the guys who have not retired yet. So the
mm.
relationships out of it, the success of their lives has just been an amazing journey along that way.
Mm. You mentioned that you now are fairly hands off a desk. Your time has passed in terms of being able to manage that level of work, and particularly with the climbs. I'm assuming that's taking up a lot of your time as well. But what you've transitioned into and seemingly love doing is sort of not puppeteering, but really helping the next generation of recruiters through your own agency. How do you get them? Like, how do you prod them to be as successful as you? Or maybe you can't. Maybe it's actually just it's a difficult hurdle to reach. But how do you approach leading, and how do you get the best out of your people?
Yeah, I suppose it's a lot different now with obviously trying to find people. Recruitment has been tough. I think we all know that it's hard to bring experienced people into the business. So we have actually gone recently into more of a graduate sort of style,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had a couple of really good wins with that, which has been super exciting to see the younger generation come through. Some get it, some don't. That's life. And the
Mm-hmm.
ones that do, you just support them all the way and put the right tools and training in place. And I'm thoroughly enjoying that part of the business at the moment. We've had a couple of really
Mm.
nice successful stories recently.
If you take the successes you've had with your grads recently, is there a common denominator? Is there something that you can think of that they share? Is it a drive? Is it a personality, or are they vastly different people? And you actually, it was just a luck, luck of the draw.
Yeah, look, perseverance. Look, I look at the perseverance and resilience sort of side of it. You can split that into two pieces, but it's about the commitment. It's like
Mm,
what I take into my climbs and everything. If you are not committed, you're just not going to achieve the goals you put in place. And the
mm,
more that people put a goal in front of themselves and then really drive that home, the self-awareness, the mindfulness, all of those things that are needed to be successful. It's like an old checklist style, the way I sort of run things still, because
mm,
checklists are just a reminder. Some people look at them and go, like a KPI, and they think, oh, that's old style. Why would you do that these days? But I find the
mm.
people who actually adopt that become good recruiters because they come so process driven and they
Mm.
keep their focus consistently looking ahead.
I had an old mentor that used to say, "Are you in recruitment, or is recruitment in you?" And I loved it because it always made me think, well, I'm in recruitment. I'm just young whippersnapper. It's not in me. I didn't never understood that phrase until later on in life, and I'm like recruitment's in me. It's just in me, right? How do you spot that in someone? Is it possible?
Very hard, very
Mm,
hard to get them on a desk and see their reaction to, again, this sounds old style, outside of work. Do they answer an email? Do they answer a phone call? Or is that part of the new generation
mm,
that, sorry, we can't work after work? That's a
mm,
very big defining moment in million-dollar billers as far as I see these days.
mm.
If your commitment is there, you will make a difference in this world, I think.
100%. And I even had this conversation with our staff yesterday. It's like, look, let's do our best to put, timing around when we work, when we don't work. Let's put timing around our calendars when we're all sprinting together, when we're all resting together. But of course, there are going to be days, moments, times where we have to pick up the phone at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. It's just part of the job, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Look, I
I
like to
remember
think.
nights. I remember nights. Like sleeping. Not sorry, not even getting to sleep till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you're back up at 6 o'clock because you're just so excited about I've nearly filled that role. And then when
Mm,
you do, it's just that next generation
oh,
of push again.
I love it. I love that passion, and I think that the best recruiters are passionate recruiters, definitely. I've met a lot, and the ones that do well, the ones that $1 million builders plus, they have a genuine interest in it. They have a genuine interest in making a difference, showing up. And I think you've got a reputation, right? There is a part of it is the ego. It's not your ego in that, I've got to make this money. The ego is, I've said I'd do something, I'm going to do it. So I think, good character is something we look for as well. Look, I'm going to cut it off there. I've got so many more questions I have around making that sort of billing, about Everest, all that sort of stuff. We're going to save it for Perth and when we're in person. So, David, thank you so much. Oh, it's Dave. You like going by Dave, don't you?
Either or either. I used to get in trouble by David, but that's fine.
Look, as you've heard, guys, 20th of February in Perth. Tickets on sale now. They've been going very quick. So there'll be a link below wherever you're consuming this. Go now. Go and pick up your ticket before they sell out. Dave, I'll see you in a month or so. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Super excited to see you all in Perth.
That's it, mate. All right, adios. As always, have an amazing day and may all your deals come true.